It was a night of, you were crying in all the photos. Life hadn't turned out like we thought it would, and you were sick of the choices you made. I was hoping that you might change your mind, that time away would bring us back to life. But now we're living in a different shadow, trying to make it back home. I still feel it, your heart close to mine. I still need it, your hands wrapped in mine. I still miss you, I think of you all the time. I search for this day and night, but a love like yours is
You know, you hear the music.
Showing that I'm still calling, but it won't let me.
What?
It's showing I'm in, but it's still ringing like it's calling in.
I don't know how to breathe when I'm not with you.
Disconnect you from there though, because you don't need to.
Why did you leave?
Yeah, but I keep this one on so I can see what's going on, and then I mute
it. From the second you were gone,
but it's not showing me in there.
News, like we were nothing.
Yeah, but usually I mute it, but it won't let me every time I hit it.
I was hoping that you might change your mind. The time away would paint it in a better light. And now I'm living under different shadows, missing every phone call.
I'm going to disconnect you and then you reconnect.
Okay.
But I still feel it, your heart close to mine. I still need it, your hands wrapped in mine. I still miss you, I think of you all the time. I search for this day and night, but a love like yours is hard to find.
Appreciate the share, MEJ.
You could be my only one, or you could be all the boys I know. All the games you made for me got me thinking if you're okay. You call me, I'm not alone. Maybe I'm just only you. Keep me up all morning, babe, 'cause I've been having dreams of you. Back to something, maybe we could be more than nothing. Maybe we could have it all. I can't go low, 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 low. They don't gotta know. So maybe we could have it all. Maybe I'm falling down without you. Go into hiding, I'll never be flying now. Baby, I blue just like the colors, got me feeling alive. In my mind, it's like butterflies over again. It's like butterflies over again. You could be my my only one. Or you could be all the boys I know. All the games you made for me got me thinking if you're okay. You call me, I'm alone. Maybe I'm just lonely, you keep me up all morning, babe. 'Cause I've been having dreams of you. Back to something, maybe we could be more than nothing. Maybe we could have it all. I can't go low, 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 low. They don't gotta know, so maybe we could have it all. Maybe I'm falling down without you. Go into hiding, I'll never be flying now. Baby, I blue just like the colors. Got me feeling alive. In my mind, it's like
We're getting started in just a couple moments here.
It's like butterflies over again. I could be my only one, or you could be all the boys I know. All the games you made for me, I'll be thinking if you're okay. You call me, I'm alone. Maybe I'm just lonely, you keep me up all morning, babe. 'Cause I've been having dreams of you.
I don't know nobody on my level, dressing stars like a boss, plus I'm rocking heavy metal, yeah. I don't know nobody on my level, dripping stars like a boss, plus I'm rocking heavy metal. I just want a bag, like an old lady. I'm backwoods smoking, I don't own papers, pass that 808. That shit a dome shaker. Oh, bitch, you know I'm grinding like a pro skater, baby. Mama bugging, I'm so quick to hit ignore. Buku bitches in my bed, I got scales all on my floor. I got money on the line, plus I'm clocking that galore. I got bitches kissing bitches, all them bitches go explore. I'm feeling way up, well fuck it, I stay up. Put your bitch on my Snapchat, while I fuck up I make her. She want a chance with me, cause she know I'm a rapper. I give a dick, but I never get feelings to shawty, I know what you after. Okay, yeah. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me, yeah. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. Get hit in my section at 12, gon' find your ass way in New Orleans. Watch out a bit, I'm jugging. Dissect your hand if your hand in my put two in your man if your man keep on looking. Act like a pussy, your panties get tooken. I'm not the type to go fuck with them niggas who fuck with them niggas who stay on some.
Moving slowly through the yard, through my mind.
Let's go.
I feel you watching through the window as I pass by. I know life can feel like it's a rewind. There's no such thing as doing nothing with your life. Strip and clean of the things I always see as me.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
They don't know what feeling's like when you're feeling free. Taking it in shapes.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Honors Radio with your wonderful host, Dante Smith. We'll be getting started in just a second. All right, here we go. Here we go. Thank you so much for tuning in to Honors Radio on this wonderful Wednesday evening with your host, Dante Smith, and co-host, MJ. Well, we're serving up the nation's top news 3 days a week from Podbean Live. So do me a favor, go ahead, sit back, relax as we serve up the nation's top stories to keep you entertained on your drive home or simply on the go. Excuse me. From our nation's top stories to our topic of the day, we are going to cover it all. Remember, join me 3 days a week from Podbean Live, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and also subscribe, and let everyone know Honors Radio is live. Thanks, MJ, for that gift. We do appreciate all gifts. Our listeners now also have an option to join the conversation through our website at honorsradio.com. Click that link and step right into the studio audience and join the conversation. Welcome again, our co-host, Emmy J, to our Wednesday edition of Honors Radio. What's going on, Emmy J?
Hey.
Now, just some quick housekeeping for us. Please, again, make sure you subscribe and share Honors Radio on Podbean. Today, of course, is Wednesday. So we're taking call-ins, and we would love to hear your opinion and thoughts on the stories of today. Also on the Podbean app, bottom right, ladies and gentlemen, each listener can support and send Honors Radio a gift, which is virtual currency through the app. If you feel the need or urge, I would say, to support, just go ahead and click that gift icon and throw some beans down. All gifts are greatly appreciated as we continue to build Honors Radio and our platform. Also added the link to become a patron of Honors Radio. Head over to patreon.com/Honors Radio to become a patron. Now, enough is enough with all that housekeeping nonsense. Let's go ahead and get down to business. 2 people were killed and at least 30 others wounded in a mass shooting overnight in 3 different states. So not shootings in 3 different states. Feeling concerns that the spike in U.S. gun violence could continue into the summer as coronavirus restrictions ease and more people are free to socialize. If there are more people like myself, the heat will definitely change some lives. Now, the attacks took place late Friday or early Saturday in the Texas capital of beautiful Austin, Chicago, and Savannah, Georgia. When I woke up and read my daily knowledge gains, my heart simply dropped. It dropped to the floor, ladies and gentlemen. 3 different mass shootings in the span of just 2 days here in our great country. In Austin, the authorities said that they arrested 1 of 2 male suspects and were searching for the other after a shooting early Saturday on a crowded pedestrian-only street packed with bars and restaurants. If you're familiar with the Austin area, 6th Street is where it goes down. There is a lot of drinking and a lot of fun that does take place in that area. It's unfortunate that such an occurrence did happen in such a place where everybody is just acting, just trying to be themselves. Now, 14 people were wounded, including 2 critically in the gunfire in Austin. In Chicago, a woman was killed and 9 other people were wounded when 2 men opened fire on a group standing on a sidewalk in the Chatham neighborhood on the city's south side. Now, I've heard crazy things about the south side, so I know it does go down on the south side of Chicago. Also in the South Georgia city of Savannah, police said 1 man was killed and 7 others were wounded in a mass shooting Friday evening. 2 of the wounded are actually children, ladies and gentlemen, 18 months old and 13 years old, right around the same age as my son. I definitely could not imagine anything that happening to us. That would be unfathomable. Unfortunately, my heart goes out to those families. Now, this is obviously disturbing. What we're seeing across the country and the level of gun violence, it's senseless killing. The attacks come amid an easing, as we know, all over the country of the COVID-19 pandemic. taking down the restrictions completely in much of the country, including Chicago, which lifted many of its remaining safeguards just Friday. Just Friday. Now, according to the database compiled by the Associated Press and USA Today, only 3 mass shootings occurred at public places, the lowest total for that category in a decade, out of 19 total mass shootings in 2020. People, 19 mass shootings just last year alone. That I bet you I can't even count all 19. MJ, can you count 19?
No, I was just thinking about that. I was like, wait, what is that? 19 sounds like a high number that we didn't really hear about or didn't get much press other than a mention.
Absolutely, it's definitely just a mention or something that they're just not televising, because I didn't see 19 total mass shooting. I didn't see anything on any news cycles or anything like that. I may have seen a couple, but 19 is an extreme amount. Now, the database tracks all mass killings, including shootings, defined as 4 or more people, not including the perpetrator itself. Now, according to the definition, there has been 17 mass killings, 16 of those shootings already this year.
That's just crazy. We're only into not even July yet.
Not even into July
not
yet.
Not even summer, really.
No, and it's sad because the amount of gun control we have is not enough in order for us to make any dent in this particular number. Now, overall, according to its database, more than 8,700 people have died of gun violence in the U.S. this year alone. Now, this is an issue we truly create for ourselves. As I was saying, our gun laws are extremely laxed. Coming in Texas now, they're going to be, like I said, like we've had reported before, there's going to be the Wild Wild West in Texas, where they're trying to allow anybody over that age of 18. Was it 18? I believe it was 18.
18 or 21, but
I believe 18 to 21 to carry a gun without being properly trained and permitted to use one. So we're definitely going the opposite direction if we're trying to fix this issue. Coupled with desperation, heat, and hunger, you definitely have a formula for some angry souls that believe this is their only option to take. Next up on our national news, ex-NBA player Caron Butler is now working to end solitary confinement in prisons. I'm sure most of us remember the former UConn star and NBA player who went to Connecticut. Okay, Connecticut. Everybody knew Connecticut was popping back in the day when it came to basketball. They were winning championship after championship. So if you don't know who Caron Butler is, you should really do your homework. He went up to the state's capital on Monday to ask Governor Ned Lamont to sign legislation that would strictly limit the use of solitary confinement and other forms of isolation in prisons. Now, the bill, which requires almost all inmates to be allowed at least 6.5 hours out of their cells and limits the use of certain restraints. Now, I agree. You got to have some air. You got to be able to get out. If you're stuck in a cell 23 hours a day, you're going to go crazy. You're going to be crazier than you already are if you are crazy. I mean, you're locked up right now. I don't agree with solitary confinement and its whole. Now, if you're acting up and you're completely acting up and you're a risk to every other inmate, I would say, yeah, go ahead and put that fool in confinement, because obviously mama didn't teach him right. Now, opponents of the bill say it will take a tool away from the guards that help them maintain discipline in the prisons. I'm not sure I care too much about the tools that they have necessary, as long as they're handling their job in the most efficient way possible. But supporters say it includes exceptions, such as allowing officers to isolate prisoners when needed to protect someone's life. So, as I'm saying, make sure that it's needed. Make sure that it's a worthy cause for why they're actually going to be in confinement for 23 hours a day. Because I don't know, MJ, could you be stuck in your room for 23 hours, let alone a prison?
No, but I also think that as far as prisons are concerned, a lot of it has to do with what the crime was. I mean, if you're talking about just a regular old, I mean, not that drug dealing is safe, but that's certainly not as devastating as a crime as, child pedophiles.
See, but that's the thing is, so a lot of these people are being on getting to confinement after they get into prison. So that's probably actions that they're taking while they're in prison that puts them in that position.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to
So
think. Why would they use that other than as a protection for others or a punishment for their behavior?
right, and a lot of individuals have a lot of juice, so they may not even it may not be their behavior inside, but it's their influence inside
Well,
that they have.
yeah, that's
So they
true.
have a
So,
ton of influence. So they so this could help for those those gang leaders, individuals who have control over a large population of people. I can see how this can help in that instance. I see that only being the instance that works for me. Someone that has way too much power within the prison system, that even the guards or the warden can't control them. So the best bet is to put them in isolation, in a confinement. But I mean, we've all seen news movies and we all seen these documentaries where it doesn't matter if they're in confinement.
right, they still have somehow figure out how to do it. Maybe they need to confine them together instead of isolating them.
We're talking about about confinement, and you have prisoners in there with cell phones.
Right.
I'm on TikTok, and I see prisoners doing TikToks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, you better at TikToks than I am, and I'm a free man.
Well, they have more time to perfect that TikTok than you do.
No,
Although you're becoming quite the TikTok expert.
I'm trying to up my game a little bit.
Even though you won't do TikTok dances.
No, I don't do TikTok dances. That's not really my style, per se. MEJ has tried to talk me into TikTok dances, but that's not really my flavor. So you're not going to get me doing anything of the such. Now, I believe Karan Butler, with his well-known status, can make people listen. Now, how much they're going to listen, that's to be determined. Now, this is somebody people can connect with. I believe this to be the biggest problem surrounding prison systems because people find it difficult connecting with the humanity of an incarcerated person. Basically, they feel like once you're in prison, you're not a human no more.
Right.
That is literally a lot of thoughts.
They think that if you're in prison, you must have deserved it. So why are we concerned with what happens to you while you're in there?
Right, and I can agree with half of that because yes, if you're committing a crime, you gotta be willing and to do the time. But you should not be treated like less than a human when you are confined or when you are locked up, because you are not less than human. You are an actual human, and we do care about your well-being. So they need to make that clear when they're throwing these people in these jail cells for 23 hours a day. Next up, and this is our last national story here, real quick. The law enforcement agencies across the country experienced a wave of retirements, as we all knew was coming, and departures, and are struggling to recruit the next generation of police officers in the year since the murder of George Floyd. We all know. Welcome, MEJ. I see you on there on Instagram. We appreciate you for joining on Instagram and joining the studio audience. Now, amid the national reckoning on policing, communities are questioning who should become a police officer these days. We know it takes a rare breed, a different breed, to handle the streets and the characters they help, right? We all know that. Now, calls for reforming or defunding the police have led to the rate of retirements at some departments rising 45% compared to the previous year. I mean, people are trying; these police officers are trying to get out of these positions sooner, quicker than they ever thought they would, because they just don't feel the support that they once had from other communities. I know they weren't getting it from certain communities, but we'll touch on that in a moment. Now, the waves comes as local lawmakers have pledged to enact reforms, such as ending the policies that give officers immunity for their actions while on duty. Why in the world would they give officers immunity for the actions on their duty? I'm not sure why that was ever a policy. That does not make any sense to me. And they say that they're committed to reshaping policing in the 21st century. Now, what reshaping looks like for the future, that only time will tell. It will be interesting to see the state of our law enforcement over the next few years. Welcome, Dante, to the studio audience. We do appreciate you joining us today here at Honors Radio. Now, it will be interesting, like I said, to see the state of our law enforcement over the next few years with these changes. Hopefully they are positive changes. Uh, I haven't heard too many ideas on what's going to be changed. So I can't wait to hear the ideas that people are going to come up with, that the lawmakers are going to come up with in order to make the policing more feasible for the communities. Now, I can see why folks wouldn't want to be law enforcement these days. Not a lot of trust from any community at this point. Anyone. There has never been a sustained trust with law enforcement in some communities, and that is most Black and brown communities. There's just nothing there. You haven't given us anything to believe in you enough to know that we can trust in your decision making. And every day and every week that we go through, we see something different. We see another murder. We see another choking. We see another just outrageous things that make us believe and know in our hearts that there's no trust. Now, I thought about being a police officer. I'm not gonna lie. I thought about it long and hard, and there just isn't enough respect for law enforcement. The respect isn't out there. To take such a risk for myself doesn't make sense. The Black officers are treated like traitors, and the white officers are treated like they can't be trusted. So there's no way in hell I would decide to be a police officer in this day and age. What do you think about that, Amy J?
Yeah, no, definitely not. I would not want you to be a police officer.
Would you want your child to become either one of your children to become a police officer in this type of climate?
No.
Even with you being a Caucasian woman, the threat in my mind is still the same. When you're a police officer, you never know what you're going to run into. Number one.
Yeah, I don't think that either. One of my kids has a temperament for it. So.
It does take a particular type of individual to be a police officer, and it's a very tough job. We're in no way in any form saying it's an easy job to handle, but they pay you good money to make great decisions, split-second decisions. So I'm hoping that lawmakers make some great moves and figuring out what we can do in order to make sure we're selecting the proper police officers to patrol our communities.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be more than just you want to do it? Okay.
Absolutely. I looked on there and it looks it looks very complicated in order to be a police officer. So it's crazy. I guess it really just depends on where you live and what state you're in. That makes it so easy to become a police officer, because what I was looking, I was like, man, I done some things in my past. I'm not sure I can pass that polygraph.
Yeah, well, and that's the even more scary part is that people pass the psych exams.
There's a psych exam, there's a polygraph.
And then they still go wild out and do crazy stuff.
Welcome, WES, to our Instagram Live. If you can, go ahead, pop over to the Podbean Live app and join us and step into the conversation. Do me a favor also, while you're on Instagram, go ahead and share this Instagram Live and let everybody know Honors Radio is live.
Share it with your people.
Share it with your people. Now, next up, let's rap. That's right. That's that part of the show when we throw out some rapid fire topics and discuss the nonsense that hits the news. But before we get to that, we got to pay some bills. We'll be right back with more Honors Radio and your host, Dante Smith. Honors Radio is sponsored by BrainPill.com, the smart pill designed to help with boosting memory, increasing cognitive skills, and better brain focus. BrainPill is approved by Ken Jennings, the all-time highest grossing Jeopardy champion, who uses the supplement to stay sharp and on top of his game. BrainPill is a natural cognitive booster formulated with high-impact natural ingredients that encourage better blood circulation in the brain and helps establish those paths in your brain responsible for those short-term and long-term memories. BrainPill is designed to help mental alertness and fight memory loss and clear up those ungodly fogs. So run over to brainpill.com and use the promo code HonorsRadio10 for your immediate 10% off. And we are back with Honors Radio and your host, Dante Smith, and our beautiful co-host, Emmy J.
Aww.
And welcome that guy 86 to our studio audience. We do appreciate you joining us today after you just got off. We really do appreciate that. Go ahead and hit that share button for me and let everybody know Honors Radio is live. And as we know, it is, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's rap time. And a pair of Idaho men lost the Guinness World Record not too long ago for most behind the back flying disc catches in 1 minute. They did it in 1 minute, people, but they reclaimed their title with 67 catches. Now these are
1 minute,
1 minute behind the back,
like a frisbee.
a frisbee behind the back. They're throwing it behind the back catches. Boom, boom. They're catching it behind the back. If you can see me, you can see I'm doing it behind the back.
Right, I'm like, I can see you, but you keep telling them behind the back.
Now, David Rush, who has broken more than 150 Guinness World Records to promote STEM education. So he's doing it. He's doing it for a specific reason, which all praises to him. So let's go ahead and give him an applause. STEM education is huge. So I'm glad we're doing it for a worthy cause. Now, initially, the team teamed with Mike Beecham to break the record with 51 catches, but their title was taken by, of course, the Japanese team, who managed to catch 57 during a TV show taping. Oh, so they was trying to do it big. They was trying to beat you out smooth, Mr. David Rush. But the pair ended up reclaiming the record, as I said, with 67 catches. Now, Rush said he believes that with more practice, they could even break their own record with 70 or more catches. Now, I got too much going on in life to be trying to break a Guinness World Record, but I would love to try at least one and do it for a worthy cause. I think that's the most important part, is doing it for a worthy cause, just to get your name in a book. I guess if you're down for that type of thing, right?
Yeah, and that guy asked if you get paid for breaking the records, and it actually says, does Guinness World Records pay record holders or make contributions? For these reasons, we do not pay record breakers for their achievement or carrying out a record title. We are also unable to cover any expenses, offer sponsorship, or provide equipment for anyone attempting a record. So these people are doing it for absolutely nothing but having their name in a book saying that they did it.
Name in the book and the love of just attempting to break a record.
How many hours do you have to practice catching that many? Like, how people who spend that much time, or even the people who grow their fingernails for years, like, really? And they don't get anything out of that? For what?
Yeah, I don't understand the extensive effort to get the world records, because then again, I'm just not that type of guy. But congratulations to David Rush and his partner Mike Beecham, as they did get the record at 67 catches from behind the back. Next up, in Texas, we got a kangaroo sighting. Yeah, oh yes. We got a kangaroo sighting. Authorities in Texas said kangaroo was spotted hopping through a neighborhood and was safely captured and returned to his owner. Now, the neighborhood was in a North Exchange area of Bernie on Tuesday morning. Now, yes, people, I said a kangaroo. We got kangaroos out here. I didn't know we got kangaroos. Now, MJ and I were literally just discussing the possible kangaroos in America. In America, after witnessing a dead deer on the side of the road.
Well, it did look like a kangaroo for a second, and then I decided I wanted a kangaroo, but you said we couldn't have a kangaroo, and now I find out we can. So I think we should get a kangaroo.
No. Now, I recall both of us literally saying it was a bad idea. I could have swore you said it was a bad idea. You said that the kangaroo would be whooping on the owner because they would be boxing them.
Oh, that's true.
I remember this.
Everything's kangaroos are cute, but if you haven't seen them, Google videos of kangaroo fights in Australia. They literally like bust car windows and go psycho. But if we just had one, then they wouldn't fight.
Kangaroo song. Kangaroo song.
Right from Big Daddy. I think we should all take a vote. How many people think I should get a kangaroo?
If you got $1,000 to $2,000, you too can be the proud owner of a kangaroo. If you live in a couple of states, there are 10 states that allow kangaroos as pets with a permit, including good old Texas, New Mexico, Washington, Idaho, and Nevada, and a couple of others as well. There also is 3 states that don't even require a permit for you to get a kangaroo. Okay, and that's South Carolina, Wisconsin, and West Virginia. $1,000 to $2,000. I went on to the exotic animal site, and I did see there was quite a few baby kangaroos that were for sale, and in Texas. So, people, if you're interested in getting a kangaroo, by all means, make sure that you go to one of those exotic sites. Make sure you're permitted, and make sure you have not a yard. You have to have acres in order to have a kangaroo. Don't be trying to put a kangaroo in your apartment or in your townhouse, people, okay? That's not going to work to have your little bitty backyard. Just because you live in Texas and you got a big backyard doesn't mean that you can allot to have a kangaroo, okay?
I think we could just build a little kangaroo hut and then...
No, you got to be a special type.
Have a kangaroo.
You got to be a special type of person to have a kangaroo, okay?
I'm special.
You special, all right. Just not kangaroo special. Next up on Let's Rap, a 9-year-old Utah girl and her 4-year-old sister. I'm not sure if anybody's heard this, okay? They apparently decided to take a road trip to California to swim in the Pacific. That totally sounds like something Emmy J would have did when she was a youngster because she wanted to get to California so damn bad. But this was a 9-year-old and a 4-year-old. They walked away after a head-on crash this week. Soon after they began their journey, they got quite a few miles for a 9 and 4-year-old. Now, the girls traveled several miles from their home before the accident. No one was injured in the accident, so thank God for that. Now, the 9-year-old first sideswiped a pickup truck whose driver started following them, thinking the driver was impaired. He then discovered the driver of the vehicle was not impaired, but was in fact a 9-year-old female driving with her 4-year-old sister. Now, this is a crazy story because this takes balls, complete balls from a child.
How
Okay,
do they reach the pedals? I know some grown adults who aren't tall enough to reach the pedal and steer.
they that is my question. My question is, what gave him the confidence? And what happened? They must have had a conversation with their parents about maybe going to California one day to go swimming, and that just triggered them to try to take that ride. I mean, me, if I was a 4-year-old and my 9-year-old brother was like, "Hey, we're gonna go swimming in the Pacific. It's not that far. We're just gonna take the car." I'd probably listen to him. At 4 years old, and my brother's 9. I'm thinking he knows best. I think he knows how to drive at that point. I'm only 4.
I'm thinking that you're actually going to snitch.
At 4 years old, you're probably not going to snitch because you're probably just going to roll with the punches and find out and just kind of roll with your sibling. You're at that age where you don't really you're not really making your own decisions, so you're just kind of rolling with it. They probably sleep in the same room. The daughter, she was probably like, "Hey, let's go swimming."
We got a comment from the audience here that says she was probably a dumb 4-year-old.
Okay. Anyway, although none of these kids again had balls, and I could never even think about taking my parents' car to leave the state, even if it was to go to the beach.
Well, what do you think? When you were 9, do you think you would have convinced your little brother to get in the car and ride with you?
No, like I said, I would never even fathom about taking my parents' car, stealing their car, which is what it is. It's theft, and leaving the state, even if it was to go to the beach. It wouldn't calculate for me. I was raised better than that. I'm sorry. Now, although if they were going to head anywhere, I'm glad it was something as beautiful as the beach.
But where were the parents? Did they ever say anything about
the parents did not realize they were gone until they actually received a call from the police. They left around 4:30 a.m. They left really early in the
okay, so
morning.
they snuck out.
Really early in the morning. So they took it upon themselves to try to make it to the beach. I commend them for trying to do what they can to get to the beautiful Pacific Ocean, but there's better ways to do it. Hopefully, their parents will let them know that for future trips. I'm sure their parents were scared out of their freaking minds when they got that call and they looked in the bedrooms and their children weren't there. So I could only imagine the pain and the fear that they felt.
It's almost like you're as a parent, you think, oh, that's crazy, like that a child would do that. But then you also kind of admire the kids who are like, oh, okay, well, you kind of, most kids would want to go to McDonald's or something around the corner, not cross state lines to go to the beach. But hopefully the parents will channel that curiosity into something more productive than auto theft.
Welcome, Wilma Nation, to our studio audience. We do appreciate you joining us today at Honors Radio. Do me a favor, go ahead and hit that share button and let everyone know Honors Radio is live. Our next story up is a 17-year-old Southern California girl got into that shoving match with a bear to protect her dogs and walked away nearly unscathed. I'm sure most of us have seen that video online recently. Last week, it did go completely viral. Probably was on national news as well because it was a pretty big story, pretty brave of Miss Haley Marinko, I believe that's how you pronounce her name, and her mother. They were actually gardening in the backyard in Bradbury, California on Monday afternoon when a bear and her cubs began walking atop a cinder block wall at one end of the garden. My first thing is I'm out of there, bro. Dogs are not pugs. I'm sorry. I love you. Y'all better follow along, players, because I'm not pushing no bear. Now, the video of the encounter shows that the appearance of the family of California black bears on a short wall set off one of the Marinko's dogs. So the dog went freaking crazy when they seen the bear trying to, dogs are always trying to attack something bigger than they are. And Moreniko threw her hands up in the air and pushed the large bear off the wall. Now, this was, to me, spectacular move. Definitely a brave move.
She probably didn't even have time to think. Sometimes you just see the danger and they say, that fight or flight. She probably just kicked in and pushed. But luckily there was a wall that the bear fell off of rather than just walking up on him. But yeah, we don't in any way suggest that you do that.
Yeah, I don't condone fake going ahead up with a bear. I also don't condone running away from the bear either, because they will snatch your ass up real quick. They are quite fast quite fast animals. But the bear was on the wall. So her best bet would have been to just kind of call her dogs. If her dogs listened, they probably would have came anyway.
Yeah, hopefully. Reggie would have listened to us, but Isabella would have been.
Once my voice got deep, and he knew he wasn't playing. I knew I wasn't playing. Our dogs are pretty much sissies anyway, so they probably would have ran. Except for the little one, Izzy. She probably would have tried to get her bark on for a little bit, but then she would have turned and
she might have ran.
She would have showed her tail as well.
You let him be bear snacks. I would say, you guys, let's have a tip to bear tip. You do not have to be faster than the bear. You only have to be faster than your slowest friend.
Absolutely correct. I've never been the slowest friend, so I've never had to worry about that. But that is absolutely correct. In any instance that you're in a group, if you're in a group, make sure you're faster than most of those folks, so you don't get caught.
Kind of like we've been talking about, where if somebody starts running, do you take off running too, or you wait to find out what's going on before you run?
William Extra said, if you see me in a fight with a bear, help the bear. Yeah. Good luck with that. We'll see you on CNN, my friend.
Right.
Now,
that guy says bears are the most dangerous animal. They do everything. They run fast, climb trees, and swim. You can't get away from them, which led me to that tip of just being faster than your slowest friend. So if you can outrun your friend, you're safe.
Yeah, ain't nobody running 35 miles an hour, player. All you got to do is run five and get away from the person running 2. That's my
Honors Radio,
suggestion,
bear
right?
tip of the day.
Now, when I first saw the video, I thought it was an older Asian lady because of her animals, but that was just me being. She looked Asian. Did you see the video?
I did. Now that you mentioned it, I didn't think I did, but now when you said the bear was on the wall, I remember. But I didn't really pay attention to that. I was just kind of in awe of the fact that she just ran up and pushed the bear off.
I was completely amazed by that. I watched it over, and literally thought it was an old Asian lady that had stepped in, but it was a youngster. I
wonder how she felt afterwards once she like snapped out of it and realized what she actually did, that she pushed this black bear off the wall.
It's probably like, what the hell did I just do?
Yeah, right. You have like this moment of breakdown.
Going to her pets like, I love you, right? I love you. Now I love you.
I took a bear for you.
I took a bear for you, right? Now, the next story up here in Let's Rap, and our final story of Let's Rap. The next story goes to show you never know what you have until you know what you have. Now, a painting purchased for less than just $5 at a Canadian thrift store is now up for auction after the artist was identified as music legend David Bowie. Now, the painting was purchased at just $4.09 from a donation center for household goods in South River, Ontario, and was subsequently discovered to have been painted by Bowie in 1997. Wow. I didn't even know he was a painter. So this brought a little bit of interest to me when I seen this. Now, the painting titled D-Head is part of a series the singer created between 1994 and 1997. Now, people, this is expected to fetch $9,000 to $12,000 for this. Now,
that's better than buying Dogecoin.
Dogecoin is out, girl. That has been in a standstill. I'm not sure if you've been reading.
I'm holding on to hope.
Welcome, Samuel G, to our studio audience here at Honors Radio. We do appreciate you joining us today. Do me a favor, go ahead and hit that share button and let everyone know Honors Radio is live. And do me a favor, hit that follow button as well. Now,
so this guy's $5 investment, someone's $5 investment is scheduled to fetch $9,000?
$9,000 to $12,000 in an auction. So that's huge. That's a huge come up for an individual that only paid $4.09 for something, and something so extraordinary. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people had no idea that this man was even the painter, because he was a musician, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he had quite a few hits, right? And an actor.
Yeah, he was in Labyrinth.
Right. Who?
One of my favorite movies.
Oh, okay. I know which movie you're talking about. Labyrinth is a pretty good movie. Now, again, yeah, I didn't realize he painted. So that was the interesting part to me, and the fact that they spent just $4 to have a come up from $9,000 to $12,000 is.
I think we need to start hitting the Goodwill and the thrift store more often.
Right.
Antique Roadshow.
Yeah, sounds like we're going to have to go to South River, Ontario to get something good, though. Yeah. We've been to these thrift shops out here.
Yeah, they don't got nothing but junk, like stained cups.
The only person finding some good stuff at a thrift shop is my mom.
Your mama is like the queen of finding stuff at the thrift shop.
Right.
No. We need to go to the thrift house in the good neighborhood. That's what we're doing wrong. We're going to the hood thrift shop. We need to go to the rich neighborhood thrift shop.
I don't know if it was the hood. It was a pretty big one. Just say it was a. I mean, it don't matter where it's at. It was big. We
did find some stuff occasionally.
I think it's about finding the stuff and refurbishing it to your liking. But in this case, they didn't have to do jack shit, but accept it, get that money.
$4.09.
Pay $4, get that, and get
was
that profit.
In US or Canadian?
You know what? I'm probably in Canadian because it was in Ontario.
I don't even know the difference if it's that much different.
I don't know. I don't know the conversions on that though. But
I do know they're fixing to make a hell of a lot of money.
Absolutely correct. Now, we are going to take a quick break, but up next is our topic of the day. So don't make a move. It's almost topic time, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead again and pay some bills. We'll be right back with Honors Radio and your host, Dante Smith. Here in America, we help our neighbors, our friends, and of course, our families in the face of adversity. In recent years, it seems as though the challenges are confronting us more and more frequently. Hurricanes, floods, forest fires, tornadoes, and mudslides, terrorism, and even the threat of nuclear attack. Once these problems arise, it's often too late to take precautions you need to keep your family safe. Fortunately, there is a family-owned company that has dedicated itself to 3 generations of sharing these needed values. American Family Safety offers emergency preparedness products and kits for home, car, school, and office, including those beautiful pets. This can include safety kits, first aid kits, emergency food blankets, flashlights, and water supplies. Everything a family would need to protect themselves in a disaster situation. The 72 emergency survival kits were built and based on the recommendations of the Department of Homeland Security and FEMA and are fully customizable. In addition to these products, AFS also provides a library with updated articles, tips, and resource guides, which will help families deal with emergencies. It's the sort of thing everyone needs and can use, but doesn't think about purchasing. Well, now here is your time to get your family prepared. Run over to AmericanFamilySafety.com and use the promo code HONORS10 for your 10% off your emergency preparedness kit. And we are back with Honors Radio and your host, Dante Smith, and our beautiful co-host, Emmy J. And yes, it is topic of the daytime, people. It is our most popular segment of the day, and it is the exciting topic of the day. Are you ready, Emmy J?
Oh, I am so ready.
Oh,
This one is fire.
I love this topic. Now, in a relationship, everybody, is it okay to have close friends of a different gender? And can a relationship still be successful when your partner has friends of the other gender, which may make you uncomfortable? Now, this topic is one which is an age-old question and an age-old conversation that many couples do have. And it's a concern, by all means. It's a huge concern. Now, but I guess a better question to start with is, can men and women truly be only friends? Or is there always a possible motive behind opposite gender friends? What do you think, MJ?
I am going to vote yes. They can be friends, only friends. I've actually had, I think, more male friends in the past than female, only because female friends are usually catty but working at the gym and things like that, I was always treated as like one of the guys. So it was like the bro girl. And there was like nothing, no thought other than just that's my homie.
Now, do you think that's different from a male to female? Because I'm sure they were thinking about humping on you.
Really? You think that?
I
See, and I think that's where women have that issue because women don't think of it like that. When someone just treats you like one of the guys, that's what you think of them as. So maybe men have an ulterior motive, but women aren't always aware of it, or are they just naive to it?
I think they're naive to it, but now, get you a Capri Sun, people. Now, in my heart of hearts, I believe it's truly based on the individual, because a person who wants to do wrong will inevitably do wrong, regardless who it's with. So it doesn't matter if it's a longtime friend or a newly found stranger that has sparked something dead inside them. They will act the same way and usually receive the same results. Now, beyond a person's general nature, I believe my answer would be no, with a hint of yes. We'll be taking calls in just a moment here. Hold on just a second, that guy. We'll just be taking calls in just a moment. Now, with a hint of yes, because I don't see justification for throwing away long-time friendships unless these friendships have proven to be untrustworthy or the friendships have an undertone which has not been discussed with your partner, such as like previous relationships, a previous relationship or a hookup with that particular friend, for example.
We hear that on the radio the other day. They were a guy got caught. He was a friend from college who he said was just a friend. Actually warned the girl. Actually warned his girlfriend that he was a cheater, and it turns out he was cheating with the friend from college.
Which is the strangest situation to me. That the girl that he was cheating with is the one that wanted to go to dinner with his girlfriend, and like,
And he was okay with it.
And he was okay with it. He's the one who sparked it. But
He
this is the
trusted
woman
her.
that you're cheating with. That didn't make a lot of sense now. Now,
Well, I'm curious too. Is it more of a respect thing to just your significant other? Now, like speaking on against us personally, if I had a friend that was a male, would you feel like it was disrespectful to you if you were not involved? If I was said, "Oh, hey, I'm going to hang out with so and so. Is that okay? See you later."
well, you know I don't play that shit. So
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
I know that.
if
but I'm
you got a
in general,
generally speaking, that's not gonna happen, man. If you got a male friend, I'm definitely gonna
you're definitely hanging out too.
I'm gonna know him, and he's definitely gonna be at the house
It's
at our house right here, having a barbecue with me. That's just how I feel now. We hanging out, exactly. We hanging out. Well, me and you, we
It's
best friends
group
at this point, my guy. And my eye is on you. I'm sorry. Now I trust my woman wholeheartedly, but I don't trust men. Men are dogs. I'm sorry. And they'll lick anything, and they'll they'll do anything to get what they want. So
basically, what you're saying now is that you wouldn't be able to have a female friend because you're a male.
I don't have friends. I don't have female friends. I don't do female friends no more. That's not my thing. You know why? Too much drama. I live a drama-free life, baby. That's what I try. That's what I try to do now. Because
all you youngsters out there, pick that tip up.
Hey, man, it's better safe than sorry, my friends. Now, bow wow wow, William and Asia. Now, because like I said, I live a life of no new friends, and believe new characters in a story always find a way to create some form of tunnel vision and can take you away from your ultimate goal, which is your relationship and your home. Now, new people tend to have you think great things are on the other side, but in fact, everyone's grass, ladies and gentlemen, is just a little bit brown. But they will have you believe it's the greenest grass in the country.
Some of these girls got dog doo in their grass.
Some of these girls absolutely have shit in their grass, and you don't want to step on that. Now, I do have that guy 86 joining us today in the studio audience. What did you have for us today on the topic, sir?
Ooh, can you hear me?
I can hear you absolutely.
You can hear me. You can hear me good?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I mean, for me, it's pretty much first, you can't be having no new friends.
Nope.
If you and whoever you've been together, let's say 4 or 5 years, you can't have a friend that you've been friends with.
Oh, you went out on us. That guy, you there? Oh, it does look like we're having a little bit of system issues with him here.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now. Go right ahead.
I said you just can't be popping up with new friends. That's never okay. You just can't pop up one day and you got a new friend that nobody has ever heard about. You've never spoken of this person. You just got a new friend one day. Like, nah, that's not cutting it.
That is extremely suspect. I agree with that.
That's not cutting it at all.
No, I do believe that all new friends should come via the couple. So if you're together, you guys should be developing those new friends.
You can't just be out making new friends. I don't care about work or none of that. Like, you can't just be popping up with new friends. Not cool.
Well, even a couple new friends, sometimes that's the problem too.
And work, again, that can be the biggest issue. A lot of people look for friendships the same way they look for partners. So they look for chemistry. They look for people that they share the same hobbies and they have the same sense of humor with. Those are people they click with. So you have to have some form of structure for yourself to know no new friends.
Yeah, make sure you have boundaries and not leading people on.
Boundaries is
can't be doing that.
And we did also have William. We did also have William and Aisha joining the show today here. William and Aisha, are you there?
What's up now?
And how are you doing today, sir?
Oh man, I'm chilling, just listening to the show, enjoying the vibage.
I appreciate that, sir.
Tree.
What did you have on the topic for us today?
I was gonna say, you could a man could have a friend, you could be friends with a woman, but you niggas just can't be friends with my woman. So y'all go ahead and work that out, but just don't come that way with that friend. Don't come this way with that friendship shit. Cause I'm kicking niggas in the ass. That's all I wanted to say today.
Well,
I appreciate your time.
We appreciate 2 cents, and I think we're all in agreement. We don't want anybody talking to our ladies.
Yeah, right. I'm like, where's the other ladies at?
It's just new friends, but other than that, it's just time. Like if you've been friends with this person for however many years, then yeah, like cool, whatever. But
And
you
that
also
person,
need to specify what you may or may not have done with that friend.
absolutely correct. That is 100% correct.
Like it's cool
also,
y'all been friends for 20 years, but like did y'all do something in year one? I still need to know. Like I don't care if y'all haven't done anything for the other 19 years. I need to know still that y'all did something year one.
And then you're not improving that friendship though. As soon as you find that out, right?
No, it's cool. I just need to know.
I hear it. You say it's cool, but it's not going to be cool when it really happens.
You need to know. You need to know.
That's how
just so you can make
friends.
your proper adjustments. You know how to look at a person, an individual, to see what his intentions are.
Your friends
But
are our
I will
friends.
say this: if it's a long time friendship, you should it should definitely already be incorporated into your current relationship, to where both parties are feeling comfortable with that friendship. Especially if you've been knowing somebody for 20 years, they should already be all up in your in your house, met your woman or your
Yeah.
man.
I mean, I got a plethora of female friends.
Y'all done
And
had
like
barbecues together.
I didn't say it before like we got like serious. Like it was like, hey, look, I got female friends that I talk to on the daily, and we talk whenever I want and whenever we
had
want.
a plethora of friends.
So these are their names. Like
There
I
you
don't
go.
want no problems with my friendship with them. They are women, yes, but they've been my friends for X amount of years. Like they not going nowhere. They are just like one of my dude friends. They just happen to have breasts.
Well, that's
So,
good. I have a guy question now since there's men on the line. If you're a woman, say you're in a relationship for a few years, and all of a sudden they start to feel a little insecure about that friendship, and they say, choose me or your friend. Where do you go with that?
I'm not a huge guy on ultimatum. I don't
Uh,
use ultimatums.
What if they felt like that female intuition felt that friend was a little out of line?
I mean, you're gonna have to give me a reason why, other than your female intuition is tingling. I'm gonna need some. I'm gonna need some facts. Like you're telling me not to be friends with a friend of mine, so like I'm gonna need some reasons why, other than it's my left elbow is tingling. Like it's just bad vibes over there. Like that's not gonna cut it. Because I wouldn't let you do that to one of my guy friends. Like I don't want you talking to him because I got a bad feeling about him. If it's one of my dude friends, like you don't just get to say that. So it don't work just because it's a female. Like, oh, I'm not feeling her vibe. Like you gonna need more than that. Did she say something to you?
Right. There's got to be reasoning behind why they're.
Was she acting a way towards me that you don't like? Like you gonna need some reasons why, and then we're gonna have to figure that one out. And then that depends on, how strong is your friendship with that girl? How long y'all been friends? It helps when the other friend has a significant other a lot.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, big time.
Like that helps a million. For like my female friends, like I'm sure their guys didn't like me early on before I got with Sam, and it was just like, and I was just doing what I was doing. Like, yeah, I don't know about that nigga, but now I'm with her and I'm chilling with my kids and shit. It's like, okay, like, y'all, okay, I get it. Like, like it's cool. Like he cool now. Like I see the change, and it happens.
I think that makes total sense, and I think reasoning is very important. You can't just be spouting off and think I'm going to listen to you, especially if it's a long-time friend. That's a hard friendship to break up based off of your feelings. Okay,
See,
so
sometimes, just like you said about women are naive, sometimes I think men are too, because women can recognize other women's intentions. Where you may
I think that goes along with new friends now. Talking about long-time friends, I think it's a little bit different. The intentions are going to be a little bit different, and the intentions should be out for everybody to see.
And then no matter what, at some point that conversation goes back to, do you trust your partner? At some point that conversation goes to, do you trust your partner no matter what?
Very true.
If I tell you, like you tell me, like, no, like I'm feeling like she's, like she wants different things with you, like I'm like my woman's intuition, and I tell you, nah, I've been friends with her for 15 years and it ain't never been like that. Now it's up to you to trust me on what I just said. because you
That's
can.
a good point.
Because then you'll go, yeah, like you say that, but like I'm sure there was one time when y'all was drunk. All the times y'all been out, something, you know, like I'm telling you, like no, and then that comes down to trusting you and your partner.
Very true, very true. Now, we do know 64% of men and 44% of women reported that their cross-sex friends actually became their sexual partners. So you can see why people are a little concerned about having friends outside of the relationship. You should honestly, your best friend should be the one that you are under the roof with. So you should not be. I mean, there's a lot that goes into a friendship. So if you're conveying personal information and you're what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, you're giving that emotion to somebody else. I can see where a partner would be a little bit concerned about that type of friendship. That kind of thing happens at work all the time, where you're venting and you're speaking to someone who you think has your interest at heart.
Yeah.
But in fact, they're just listening to everything they possibly can to slide inside to get their turn.
Everybody should just not have friends and get a kangaroo.
Enough with this damn kangaroo stuff. Ain't nobody getting a kangaroo around here. Now,
kangaroos are dangerous too.
They are
They're just as dangerous as bears.
Yeah. Them niggas fight like boxers.
They just, bro, you try to fight a buff ass fast Floyd Mayweather with a tail. It's terrifying.
Lord.
Seen a kangaroo put a
Have you
pit
seen
bull
those
in a
tails?
headlock.
Those tails are thick, man.
They do that. That's how they
Them
balance.
tails is as big as arms, bro.
I know y'all seen the buff kangaroo on Instagram.
I did see that buff kangaroo. Yeah.
That nigga's
he bench at least 3.
Yeah. And he don't miss leg day.
You don't miss leg?
Never. His tail had a 12-pack.
Enough of the kangaroo. We're going to move on from the
kangaroo. Will kick the shit out of you, for real. It'll kick you in the next week, and you'll be like, damn, I just got kicked in the next week by a kangaroo.
Damn.
It is absolutely a concussion waiting to happen. We are not looking to get any kind of kangaroos.
Okay, fine, no kangaroo.
If you guys are looking for kangaroo, you're in California, so you're definitely not getting any kangaroos. There's no kangaroos allowed out there, people.
Doesn't matter what state I'm in, I'm not getting a kangaroo.
You might wonder.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a baby Wolverine.
What? Anyway,
you try to get everybody toe up, huh?
Now, a study conducted in 2014 in the review of psychology focused on how men and women decide to initiate and dissolve opposite sex friendships. Now, the results suggest that men have 2 goals when initiating opposite sex friendships: a short-term one to have easily accessible potential sexual partners, and a long-term one to have an available potential long-term partner, which is what I was leading to when I'm saying men are totally different. They're totally different mindsets than what women are thinking. Now, there was a trend amongst men that sexual attraction and availability were important in initiating a friendship, while women looked for physical protection while choosing their opposite sex friends. So men are looking to get their jollies on when it comes to creating new friends, while women are looking for more of somebody that can maybe have their back. Is that what I'm getting? You get that same thing, Jay?
I'm trying to think. I don't think any of my guy friends I've ever. Why?
We smashing and dashing around here.
What'd you say? You got some male friends?
No, I'm saying I think like recently, like, male friends and most of the time it's more like that you're talking to or chatting with. Especially with the COVID, nobody was out making friends.
I don't make friends no more. I don't need any more friends.
I don't even get how people make new friends nowadays.
I don't know either.
Like that concept is so weird to me.
I think it's when they have kids, and your kids are friends, and so you just end up being friends.
All of my friends I've known for 15 years or longer.
That is a long time, my friends. Yeah. I ain't got no friends. Well, I got 2. I got 2 like that, I guess. Now, as men and women have more opportunities to interact with one another in the workplace and social settings, as I said, it's inevitable that people of the opposite sex will find common interests and connections with one another that is likely to evolve into friendship. Now, these relationships don't generally pose problems unless one or both parties in the friendship are in an exclusive, intimate relationship with someone else or they're married. Now, my suggestion is based on experience, people. Make your relationship and your friendship with your partner your only priority. If you're trying to make new friends, you're doing the wrong thing. Honestly, you're absolutely doing the wrong thing. And you're about to fuck yourself in the long run. Honestly. Now, knowing this leads me to our major topic, which is, you know, is it okay? Is it okay to have those close friends of a different gender? Or do you see that it can be a long-term issue? Now let's just stick to new friends. Could this be a long-term issue, or could this be an issue?
No, that's a right now issue and a tomorrow issue. And a yesterday issue. You cannot just be popping up with new friends. Like, that shit is not cool.
Now, MEJ, what are you thinking about that?
Yeah, I'm thinking that the new friends thing is an issue. Like, if you're coming home from work or anywhere telling me about, oh, so I was talking to so and so today. I was talking to Julie today, and we were doing this.
No, you know what? She's funny. She's funny right now. She's cracking jokes right now because she brought up Julie at my job.
First name I thought of.
She's trying to be funny right now because I work with an individual and see this individual like once throughout the day.
when the topic hits home, huh?
Right, when the topic hits home, right, and it ain't hitting home because they be all in their brains, they be all in their own minds, thinking of their own things. Now,
sometimes it's funny just to bring it up because you get all like,
I'm like, man, you tripping. Anyway, I ain't got time for that nonsense. Anyway, if not handled properly, there is a strong potential for the opposite sex friendships to become a threat to the intimate relationship. So I make sure that my phone is an open book. It has always been an open book, and it stays an open book. I don't have a problem with revealing anything in my phone or who I'm talking to or what I'm talking about, because I don't have anything to hide at this point. I'm good. Now, if you have concerns, I suggest you speak to me versus, going through my phone. Of course, it's a little whack. But again, I don't have an issue with grandfathered friends. I mean, old friends. You don't have any old friends, MEJ. I haven't seen the old friends. I haven't seen the old friends.
I had an old friend before you that you didn't really.
Oh yeah, you do got one. That's okay. I actually met him. Remember? Carlos?
Oh yeah, Carlos.
Oh, you have another one. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we have another old friend that happens.
Oh man, the topic gets spicy at home.
The whole book is opening up for us today, and I guess me and MEJ.
Person, his name started with a G.
I guess me and MEJ is going to have a conversation after.
Now you gotta take it to the next level, bro. Have it all out. Have it all. You gotta have it on the cast, bro.
And she said it started with a G. I don't know nobody that started with a G, ladies and gentlemen.
You too. Look at me.
Nigga named Genuine.
Nah, his name Greg, but that ain't your friend.
Greg.
See, now I'm really confused. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about no Greg.
I was a friend because I was best friends with his wife. I wasn't friends with him like that, and I was trying to get you a new friend.
Right, so you're digging yourself in a bigger hole over here. Got it.
Nigga named Garfield.
Right, and Greg is actually a big black dude. Really? This is where you're bringing up anyway.
Nice.
Who was married to
We've got Greg on the
line. Now, she's talking about some guy named Graydon. Oh, Lord. Anyway, we're going to move on from that topic because that's whack.
It is whack. Like,
why did you even bring that up? That's like not even Now, I would venture to say, again, people, that the workplace is the biggest threat to a happy home. Or committed relationships, and make sure, because that's the only place you're going to be meeting new friends. Make sure you know what people's intentions are. Make sure you keep everything professional, and you'll do just fine. Just a quick breakdown here. Guidelines. I do have just a few things that you can do to make sure that you can protect your friendship and your relationship. Everyone will develop their own set of ground rules, obviously, related to interactions with the opposite sex. But I think there are just a few key guidelines that all couples should at least consider, if not implement. What I'm also going to do is drop my callers off the line as I finish this. We do appreciate you both for joining us today. And
thanks, dog.
Thanks for having me.
News. We appreciate you, fellas.
All right.
All right. Now, the first close friendships with someone of now, consider to implement. First, close friendships with someone of the opposite gender that isn't your spouse just isn't a wise decision, as we've been discussing. It's not a good decision. New friends, no new friends. Now, truthfully, no one should know you better than your spouse, especially not a friend that shares the same gender as your husband or wife. Sharing your heart with someone builds intimacy, whether you realize it or not. So it's crucial to consider who you are building that intimacy with. Relationships develop based on communication and quality time, which you shouldn't even have time to do, with someone other than your partner or your spouse. I mean, I don't see where you get the time. I really do not have the time to deal with another woman. Okay, I don't. I do not, and I don't know. I don't know if you guys do, but it's already a handful enough dealing with the one that I have. I don't need that type of drama. Now, through all my mistakes in life, I've come to one simple conclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, it is better safe than sorry. Stay the hell away. Most people who have affairs report that it started out with just small talk or minimal interactions. That's how they get you. And I now don't even entertain those interactions. It's just too damn much work. Okay. Now, make sure that you are setting up proper boundaries with your partner. Make sure each of you guys both know and accept what each other's looking for and needs in order to feel confident in the relationship. No one should be feeling like, oh, I don't know what this person is going to do when they go to work, or I don't know what this person is going to do when he or she goes out. You shouldn't have those concerns because those boundaries should already be set between you two and the trust already built. Make sure also that you are cultivating your same-sex friends. It's not gay to have friends. Those should make up your closest, most rewarding friendships. If you have them, make sure you cultivate them, keep them close, because those are going to be your people. Those are going to be the guys that make sure that you can go out and enjoy yourself and not have your woman down your throat. Now, also be careful with your outside interactions and be aware of your own weaknesses and vulnerabilities, as I am, and heed warning signs that this friendship might be veering in dangerous waters. Know yourself. Most importantly, have the conversation, people. Set guidelines for how you should behave around members of the opposite sex. This has been an amazing topic of the day, and I do appreciate everybody for throwing their 2 cents in and throwing it down for us. I love all the honesty that came out of the conversation. Go right ahead, NEJ.
I just want everyone to know that the only friend I need is you.
I believe that wholeheartedly. Wasn't even concerned about that. Now,
Okay, I just want to make sure you know.
Next up is hemp news, ladies and gentlemen. We serve up the latest cannabis news from across the nation. But before we get to that, we'll be right back with Honors Radio and your host, Dante Smith. Lawrence Taylor's Pain Master CBD Cream, 1,000 milligrams, is the ultimate in post-workout and fitness support skin lotions. With high-quality CBD sourced from industrial hemp, you get natural support in a strong formula intended for those already demanding more. A topical application of CBD LT Pain Master CBD Cream goes to work right on contact. Lawrence Taylor Pain Master CBD Cream will quickly become an essential part of your most grueling workout, fitness, or sports schedule. To grab your bottle, click the link in the description. Yeah, we're back. It's hemp news time, ladies and gentlemen. It's hemp news. Welcome, that dude Sean. We appreciate you joining Honors Radio for our hemp news. It's going down. Do me a favor, go ahead and hit that share button and that follow and let everyone know Honors Radio is live. Because it's time. What? Hemp news. I don't snooze. Hemp news. We on the move. Multiple laws coming through. Hey. Okay, anyway, hemp news. We on in the governor of Louisiana on Tuesday signed a bill to decriminalize marijuana possession. And if you have ever been to Louisiana, you know how tough they are out there. Upon signing House Bill 652, Governor John Bel Edwards said in a statement, "This is not a decision I took lightly. Adding, in addition to carefully reviewing the bill, I also believe deeply that the state of Louisiana should no longer incarcerate people for minor legal infractions, especially those that are legal in many states. That can ruin their lives and destroy families as well as cost taxpayers greatly. Possessing up to 14 grams of marijuana will now carry just a simple $100 fine under the bill. So we are getting closer to, a little bit of leeway when it comes to it. Decriminalization is not legalizing in any form or fashion, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you know that clearly. By replacing the threat of incarceration with a modest fine, it does fit the definition of decriminalization. Louisiana lawmakers also sent Edwards a separate bill this month to let patients in the state's medical cannabis program legally smoke whole plant marijuana flower. So it's getting them this far. It's taking them this long to get this far, which is not far at all, but it is progress. He hasn't weighed in on the proposal yet, and I look forward to any updates about being able to see our medical cannabis, their medical cannabis program allow legally smoked whole plant marijuana flower. I don't know what they're smoking on right now. If they're not smoking marijuana flower, I'll be interested to do a little research on that to find out what the hell are they using out there if they weren't using regular flour. That do, Sean, we are unfortunately not taking any more call-ins for today. Join us again on Friday when we will be taking more call-ins in regards to our topic of the day. I do apologize about that, young man. Now, I'll just say this: congrats, Louisiana, for even taking this small step. Now, they're taking a small step in the right direction, with other states seeing a state that has been known to be against legalization, and they make small changes. It gives other states hope from some change as well. Again, like I said, it's a very small change, but it is enough to make an impact on the prison system, on incarcerations, on simple arrest, things like that. It should make a difference. Now, no matter the increment of change, it's still a win, ladies and gentlemen, in the cannabis community. Now, next up, 3.5 years after California legalized recreational marijuana, the regulatory system governing the industry has proved to be extremely restrictive and costly, that thousands of existing rural farmers have been unable to join the legal market. Now, the estimate, by industry insiders includes farmers that have been excluded in the cannabis-friendly parts of the state, including the famed Emerald Triangle of Humboldt, Mendocino, and Trinity counties, even though those three counties alone account for almost half the state's 7,255 active marijuana cultivation permits. Santa Barbara County actually leads the state with 1,845 cultivation licenses. Humboldt County has 1,839, and Mendocino County has 952, which means there are thousands more farmers that remain shut out of the legal marijuana market. I'm sure these farmers can possibly create some of the bombest marijuana or cannabis known to man, but they are not giving them the opportunity to do such. Now, it's regulated as though you are building a shopping mall, pretty much. So that for folks that are homestead producers on a small scale, it's extremely out of reach and too expensive. And it's too time consuming, if you ask me. Now, most rural California farmers likely live in counties with commercial marijuana bans as well, and roughly 2/3 of the state maintains cannabis business prohibitions. Now, next up in our final, we actually do have two more stories here when it comes to our hemp news here. Rhode Island Senate Committee on Monday approved a marijuana legalization bill. It's the first time a bill to legalize cannabis for recreational use has ever been advanced in the state. Now, the Judiciary Committee passed the Senate bill in a substitute form in a 6-2 vote. The Senate is expected to take up its bill to the floor vote as soon as next week. There were several key changes made to this Senate bill before it advanced through the committee, though, which includes imposing a freeze on approving additional marijuana cultivators because existing medical cannabis growers have insisted assisted upon this because they say that the market is already oversaturated. I'm sure we've all recognized that in a number of different states. It's going to be oversaturated. Absolutely, they're going to have to put a pause on a lot of these licenses. Now, also 1/3 of licenses for marijuana retailers would now be reserved for businesses that qualify as social equity applicants. We've discussed that before in previous episodes. Social equity applicants, those that are were impacted by the drug itself in their communities. Now, overall, the Senate bill would allow adults 21 and older to purchase and possess up to 1 ounce of cannabis, and they could also cultivate up to 6 plants for personal use. The Cannabis Control Commission would be established to regulate the market and issue the business licenses. As we have said, this is key. It's a key committee for any well-ran recreational operation. You need to have some form of oversight that's going to be able to make proper instructions, proper regulations in order for this cannabis, these cannabis laws to actually, for them to actually work. Now, there's always going to be the black market, of course. Now, marijuana would be subject to the state's 7% sales tax, in addition to 10% special tax and a 3% local tax for jurisdictions that allow cannabis firms to operate in their area. So they're definitely going to be getting their money from the recreational smokers. And they don't. 7% is 10% is huge, and then another 3%. So they're getting their money. I mean, we went to Vegas not too long ago, and it was the taxes were freaking crazy, and the tree wasn't even that great. I'm going to be honest with you, but I'm just keeping it 100 with you. Now, driving while under the influence would be prohibited, but people can't be considered impaired solely for having cannabis metabolities in his or her system under the bill, since I can't talk today. Now, people with prior convictions for possession of up to 2 ounces of cannabis could have their records expunged, which is a huge piece of any legislation, making sure that you can expunge those records. You don't want people being held back by these possession of marijuana charges. These are whack. Now, courts would have 90 days also instead of 60 to act on expungement petitions. So, ladies and gentlemen, the expungement is not going to happen right away. It is going to take some time, but it will get done for you. And the last up on our list, good old state of Texas, because the stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.
You didn't clap.
Oh, forget that clap. Oh, yes. The state of Texas Governor Greg Abbott, yes, he signed a bill to modestly expand the state's limited medical marijuana program on Tuesday. Ladies and gentlemen, this is good for us here in Texas. It expands our medical marijuana program. No. We're not getting recreational out here. That is not going to happen. Recreational is not going to happen in the state of Texas. Now, the legislation adds cancer and post-traumatic stress disorder to the list of conditions that qualify patients to legally access cannabis. It also doubles the amount of THC concentration that is allowed from just that simple 0.5 to 1%. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know 1% is not a lot. It's not a lot at all. And I'm sure, and if you're in chronic pain and you have post-traumatic stress disorder, or you got cancer, you need some medicine that works. I'm not sure 1% is going to do it, but it is an improvement for the state of Texas. As originally passed in the House, the bill would have also included chronic pain as a qualifying condition, but that was unfortunately removed by the Senate and was not re-added. So it looks like I'm out, and a gang of other Texans are out for using and trying to utilize this reasoning in order to get a medical card in the state of Texas. Now, Abbott has not yet commented on a separate piece of drug policy reform legislation that legislators also passed to require the state to study the therapeutic potential of psychedelics like MDMA. Following suit along with the state of California, I believe they're looking into research and research into that as well. Now, Separate bills to reduce penalties for possessing cannabis concentrates, revise the state's hemp program, and broadly decriminalize marijuana possession also advanced this year, but they did not make it, unfortunately, over the finish line. Just that 0.5% that we gained. That's all we got out of that bill. Now, Abbott did not sign additional legislation to clarify that a positive marijuana test alone is not sufficient criteria for removing a child from their home. This is very important, but he didn't veto it either. And it was not enacted without his signature last month, and it takes effect on September 1st, 2001. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this has been an amazing Wednesday evening. Okay. I've had a lot of fun. But as we know, all good things do come to an end. You know what I mean? So this has been a great Wednesday. And as usual, we served up the nation's top news and discussed some great topics today. But, we got to go, right? MJ, we got to go?
Well, yeah, the kids are going to starve soon.
We got to feed them. Now, that is going to be it for us today here at Honors Radio with your host, Dante Smith, and my amazing co-host, Emmy J, where we have just served up the nation's top news on Podbean Live. Remember to share and subscribe and help us build Honors Radio from the ground on up. Don't forget to check out honorsradio.com for all of our past shows and special updates. And remember, we now have our patrons only section for our listeners who would like to become a part of Honors Radio family and donate to keep our operation running smoothly and our content fresh and informative. Do me a favor, head over to patreon.com/Honors Radio or simply go to honorsradio.com/become a patron. And voila, you are now a part of the Honors Radio family. And you have helped us serve up the nation's top news that you care about. Join us again Friday at 7:30 Central Standard Time as co-host Emmy J joins us in the studio to discuss more of the nation's top news. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, please do me a favor, go ahead and hit that subscribe or follow button and let everyone know Honors Radio is popping. We ready to go, and everybody have a blessed night. And we are out.
As the things